Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fuck My Life, episode 26. Can't believe we're here. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm tired. I'm very tired, Vera, because I'm old and I had to stay up really late last night and then I had to wake up really early this morning. So I am
Wow,
tired.
that's
Night of the Seven
horrific.
Kingdoms comes out at 10, which is fine. It's only 30 minutes. But the problem is then I did about a 4 hour plus, maybe around a 4 hour live stream talking about the episode on Gary's channel, which was great. It was great to talk about it, but it was 4 hours long and it was around 4 in the morning before I actually got to bed. So I am a little bit tired. I got like 3 hours of sleep. And
Yeah,
this stream is late for me.
yeah, I usually don't stream till 4 a.m., but I do stream, 5 hours, 6 hours, typically until like midnight. So, I feel the pain a little, but also that's just every
And then
day
you
for me. So
sleep in like a fucking millennial bum or something.
I do sleep in, but that's because I don't go to sleep until like 5 a.m. So, of course, logically, I would have to then sleep in.
That would basically be that's like my
Also,
normal
I'm
schedule.
not
Go to
a
bed around midnight,
millennial.
wake up
I'm
around
Gen Z,
7-ish.
you fuck.
What?
Okay? I said I'm not a millennial. I'm Gen Z. Okay, you fuck.
Imagine bragging about that. Oof.
I'd rather
I'm
brag
Gen
about that
Z,
than
guys.
brag
Loud
about
and
being a
proud.
millennial. The
I'm Gen
millennials,
Z.
the millennials are the activist fucking cucks that are ruining everything. Haha, we've got cringe humor we're throwing into everything because we're going through our
Gen
fucking
Zers.
crisis.
Gen Zers. That's who we need to look for our fucking guidance. It's Gen Zers. Not that
I don't
my
think.
generation
Well, I don't
doesn't
think
have
we
any
should look at
problems.
anybody for
certainly do.
guidance. I don't think we should look at
fucking
anybody
Z?
for guidance. To be
Gen
fair,
fucking Z. Holy shit.
everybody is retarded. Okay.
There are levels to this shit,
Absolutely. Yeah. There's decent millennials, there's decent Gen Z, but I feel like Gen Z, it's so hit or miss. It's either completely awful or based.
That
Doesn't
I would
matter.
say that's basically everyone other than boomers.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely, except for boomers. Anyway, Night of the Seven Kingdoms is
Hello,
almost
boomers
over.
in the chat. It's probably late for you guys.
I'm feeling a little sad. It's almost over.
I'm feeling a little sad after that episode, not because it wasn't awesome. It was really good. But for book readers, we've known this moment was coming for a very long time, and it was incredibly well executed. The end of the episode, which is why it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Truly heartbreaking. And I think that Baylor was cast extremely well and performed really well through this entire show. And yeah, don't want to get into any spoilers necessarily, anything, because we know not everybody's watched it or whatever. But holy shit, what a great episode!
I think this is one of those few times where I feel like everybody was perfectly cast. Generally, when we're talking about larger casts of characters, you have a couple of like really solid hits, but then you have a lot of misses as well. I don't think that that's the case here. I mean, even down to Egg, he's phenomenal.
I usually hate children actors in most things.
A lot of them are really bad.
But I think Dexter Solancel is great.
Yeah.
I think, and half of it is just off screen. He's so good as well. When you see him in all the interviews and the back behind.
How do you feel about all those spoilers? And
Awesome.
all the he's like, hey, can we say this? Can we say that? Can we talk about Henry Cavill? And then the whole, the dunk spoiler. If you think that that's a spoiler, there's some people that think that he's just fucking around. That like George fed him this information to put it out there. I don't think that George is some mastermind, and I also think that like he's 9 years old.
He's like 10 years old.
Yeah, he's like a kid. So
you probably shouldn't tell a 10-year-old kid stuff like that because he's going to blab and look, there would have been a point in time in A Song of Ice and Fire fandom where if say 10 years ago, if he had said something like that, people probably would have been a little bit upset. They wouldn't be like mad at a kid necessarily, but they'd be a little upset that a spoiler like that got out.
Yeah.
We know we're never going to get there, that it's never going to get written. So any little thing like that, that is the biggest lore drop that we've had
It
for
really is.
our universe in a decade, basically.
It's wild to think that it's just been that long. Because sure, he's published like some other smaller stuff and like, ooh, his encyclopedias. But besides that, we haven't gotten shit. But that's George R. R. Martin for you.
Yeah.
At
Do you think he's
least
going to finish any more Duncan Egg novellas?
I think yes, because he sees how positively the show has been received and how quickly he can churn those novellas out. Of course, if we were talking about some, 500 to 1,000 page book here, that's very different. But because they're shorter, really, you could do it like 75 to 100 pages, even if he wants to cut it short and then pump those out. So, yeah, I do. I think it's more likely than us getting Winds of Winter. I know he's been working on allegedly Winds of Winter for fucking 80 years, it feels like now. But yeah.
Well, remember, he cut stuff out of Feast and Dance. He already had some of Winds of Winter like ready. He's got Winds of Winter sample chapters that he cut out from these other things. And still, we're never, I don't think it's ever going to see the light of day. Maybe he will be inspired and motivated because people do like it. Here's my opinion. Overall, I think A Night of the Seven Kingdoms has been very, very good.
Yes.
Some criticisms here and there for stuff.
Yeah.
Including stuff that they've left out. Like, I think it's, I'm not going to say unforgivable because the show's still really good and all the spirit of everything is true. But Steely Pate's line about, a knight who remembered his vows.
That part hurts me so bad. It would have been so
crazy
good.
that didn't get in there.
Like, that is such a pivotal scene with all of the small folk that are there. And he's so negative about it. He thinks that they're like, oh, they're laughing because of me. Oh, haha, like this sucks. But that wasn't the case. And that line is just so good. It makes me depressed that wasn't there. I was for sure sitting there. I was like, oh, it's going to be in next week's episode. Then, of course, Ira Parker said it wasn't going to be. And I was like, fuck.
And I respect that he's just owning up, being like, yeah, we had originally planned to put it in and it got dropped somehow and we didn't. And I'm sorry.
Very rarely do like showrunners come out, admit their problems, admit their faults. But I think that for me, reading the novellas, that was like one of the best parts of all three of the novellas.
It's a standout line. I would say of this book, there are two standout lines that anyone that's a fan of the book remembers. And it would be, are there no true knights among you? And a knight who remembered his vows, or a knight who honored his vows. Like, those are the two moments that probably stand out the most in terms of just lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
And so to miss that is crazy. I will say this. I think the spirit of that, what that means is it's a moment when Dunk realizes he has to face this huge task and has known how badly he's fucked up and the ramifications he's going to have to deal with. But all the small folks seem to be on his side. They're all wishing him luck. And he's like, what did I do to deserve this? And, they realize that he's a true knight. He stood up for one of them. He stood up for somebody that has no status in this world. And the small folk appreciate that. I will say the spirit of that, I think, definitely comes across, especially in this episode, when you see everyone cheering him on. Like, the spirit of what that means, that he has the people on his side, does come through. Like, that theme does come through. Yeah.
But it was sad that wasn't there. Otherwise, though, the only problem I have with this latest episode is I wish there was a little bit more of the action and a little bit less of the flashback. But I think the flashback serves a purpose, and it really helps establish the themes with Dunk and Dunk's mindset. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I think you could maybe cut a minute of him wandering and following Sir Arlen. I think you could maybe cut a minute of like the walk back to King's Landing here or there.
I want to know where Sir Arlen learned to sing in Dothraki.
That's a fucking story right there.
I
Sir
want to
Arlen Speaking
know.
in Dothraki is a story and a half.
Yeah.
How did he figure that out? What, like,
Yeah.
I did see a translation for it running around. Somebody already translated it,
Oh, I haven't seen
which is
that.
interesting. But
That's
basically
cool.
just a song about loss and stuff. But I think the flashback 100% is I think the flashback pays off in a big way when we get to see why he follows Sir Arlen, why he's inspired to stand up for the innocent, why he's made some of these decisions in his life and what's led him to this moment, his entire life, the loss that he's had, yet the perseverance he's had to keep going. And what do you do like when all these things don't go your way, even when you think you're about to live your dream and it turns into a nightmare? The only thing you can do is get up and keep fighting.
Yeah.
And the fact that get up, that you get it in the beginning with Egg yelling at Thunder after training Thunder, up, Thunder, go, Thunder, up, go. And then Thunder goes, Dunk, get up once, and then Egg, get up, Sir Duncan, get up, sir, get up, sir, get up. The fucking crowd chanting up, cheering on Sir Duncan as they're completely on his side. And then obviously at the end, when we see Baelor and just the tragedy that ensues, and Dunk is screaming, get up. Right. And some of the lines are changed to who they're from, but the spirit of that all is from the book. And to see that theme play out, I thought it was incredibly rewarding. I thought it was really well earned.
I agree, though. I thought that it was really good, like all around.
Dunk and Egg stories, there's a little action here or there. They are very much character stories about Dunk and Egg, and kind of simple little stories at times. And I loved what we saw with the action sequence, with the visceral, chaotic nature of it that made you feel like you were a part of this and made you feel what it would be like, not for some fancy fucking Hollywood choreographed fight scene where everybody's doing crazy sword tricks, but what it would be like to be in a fight for your fucking life.
Yep.
And I thought it was really powerful and emotional and impactful. And would it have been cool to see an hour-long episode where we saw every specific duel? And I guess it would have been cool. It wouldn't have been from the book, and I think it would have taken away a little bit from
Dunk, and that's who it centers around. Yes. Like I think that I had said this right before we went live, but I wish that we had seen a little bit more in terms of the characters we're never going to see again, like Maekar and Baelor and Lionel, like them getting a couple more seconds of screen time in this fight, because we're never going to see them again. Unless this goes 7 seasons and there's a feast and we know how George loves his fucking feasts. Of course, he's got to write those in some way. But besides that, like, we're never going to see these characters again, so I want as much of them as possible. But yeah, it is important that Dunk stays central to the story.
Yeah, and we are going to get to see some of them in next week's episode.
Well, yeah.
Including Lionel.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Have you seen that preview that's out there?
I have.
Yeah.
I was a little shocked.
And that obviously can set up for a lot of stuff down the road.
I'm worried, though. The tone of it is so different from the end of the book. So the end of the book is only like 4 freaking pages, it feels like. But it's like, it's not Dunk making the point with Maekar. It's like Maekar begging almost. I think that comes across as weird in this teaser. I guess we'll have to see how it ends, but it's a little strange to me.
I think it's going to be really good.
I think it'll be good regardless. I just think it will be a slightly different tone where it's not really Dunk making the point while being very, like, almost cocky to this prince. And it seems more like this prince has come to this realization. But I also do like in the show how they gave them Maekar and Baelor more of this, like, brotherly bond than was in the book. So, like, it makes sense with the slight tone changes they've made.
I think we're gonna see a very guilt-ridden Makar.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
we do get to see the moment. You know, you can. It is a blink and you miss it. You do get to see the moment when that happens.
Oh, wild.
Oof, yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm hopeful. I've enjoyed the show so far.
This is what I will say. Although I've loved this show, the fact that right now it's a 9.9 on IMDb,
It doesn't deserve that.
It doesn't deserve it because the level of difficulty to adapt this rather simple story
was pretty low.
It's pretty low. I mean, I think it's very well done. But are you telling me that this episode was on par with the Red Wedding? I would say no,
absolutely not.
Because the work that goes into all these different characters' viewpoints and the journeys they go on, it's so complex. And that's why I can't say that Night of the Seven Kingdoms is on par with the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, because it's different. You can't compare it. It's like an apples to oranges comparison because of the simplicity of this story, which I think is rewarding in a lot of ways compared to the complex political nature of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but I'm hopeful. I hope that this last episode sticks the landing. Again, I'm sure that it will. I don't think it's going to be so wildly tough for them to do, but I'm also glad we don't have to wait 5 years between seasons, which is good. I'm much more excited for season 2 of this than I am House of the Dragon season 3. So.
Yeah, well, I think that because you have a novella to adapt and you have all that dialogue that's written right there for you.
There's an expected level of hype to it.
Right. I think I would expect it to be good. I do think that we are going to see that the beginning of season 3, the Battle of the Gullet, I think is probably going to be talked about a lot. And I think it's going to be hyped like fucking crazy. Yes. I think a lot of people who are very let down with the ending to season 2 because it was kind of like, hey, let's jerk you off and get you all the way there and then blue ball you. Yeah, it's going to start off really fast. And that's how season 2 is supposed to end until HBO came and was like, no, we can only do 8 episodes. So I do think a lot of people who have basically, the show's over after season 2, I'm done with it. I think there's going to be a lot of hype after the season 3 first 2 episodes, probably.
Yeah. I don't remember when season 3 is releasing this year. It's in
summer.
I thought they said like June, or maybe
that was May,
just
June,
the
August,
target.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so right around where I was thinking, but I guess we'll see. Wild Zephyr, thank you for the 1 year, the 12 months. Gen Z hasn't had time to be as annoying as the millennials. Give them time. Oh, there's some really fucking annoying Gen Zs, but
I've had plenty of time.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's a higher ratio of people who identify as trans, millennial or Gen Z?
Well, Gen Z, probably.
Okay. There you go.
I mean, I don't know. Every fucking... I feel like if you looked at the age brackets, they'd probably fucking say Gen Z, but I don't know.
A lot more gay people and a lot more trans people by proportion.
Social media doesn't help. And there's a lot of Gen Z on social media, obviously. But thank you for the 12 months. SCDB, thank you for the 5. Vera, prove you're a true Bostonian. What's your favorite spot in the North End? Ryan, you have a huge forehead or whatever balance.
It does give me balance because
the
rest of my body, I need this to balance out other things on my body. So yeah.
Fair enough. All Italian restaurants, Hanover, Salem Street restaurants, Paul Revere Mall. I don't know how many examples you want. Yeah. I'm big on Italian food. Probably why I live here. Thank you for the 5, though. Very grateful. Also, Sevi donated $10 via Streamlabs. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Sevi. Didn't say anything, just a dono?
No text in the message. But I appreciate it.
Slapped it down. Thank you.
Yeah. Lonnie Dot, thank you for the 99-cent super sticker. Maybe one day StreamYard will make it so we can actually see the super sticker on the screen. Would be nice. Wouldn't Wouldn't be too hard, I'd imagine. And Robert Hayes, thank you for the $4.99. Fuck my life. Harley Quinn has officially joined the Bat Clan because that makes total sense. I did see the image. I don't remember what like series it is, but I did see the image of like I think it's like the yellow or the orange suit. I was scrolling. I saw it. I scrolled past. I'm like, I cannot deal with this bullshit.
Harley Quinn officially a member of the Bat family now.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it really quickly.
What the fuck?
I mean, I don't put anything past like DC at this point, so
Why do they love Harley Quinn so much? I'm so sick and tired of Harley Quinn.
yeah, here it is. Harley Quinn is officially sporting a bat logo as the Dark Knight recruits her and other Suicide Squad favorites onto the Justice League. It doesn't even look cool. It looks like she's wearing a fucking tank top over a t-shirt. And then it's like a tank top over a t-shirt over her normal red suit. Like, what the fuck is this? This shit is stupid. See, this is why I just scrolled past. Because I can't deal with being enraged over this dumb shit half the time. Like, what is this? Who made this decision? But I don't know
the Harley Quinn
else.
push. How many shows and how many movies and
well, it's because she's a lesbian half the time. And then she's a strong feminist icon who gives Joker the finger because she doesn't need a man. So that's why they've like adopted her. Plus, I think they expected when Margot Robbie was cast for there to be a much bigger interest in like the live action new Harley Quinn, so they were going to be able to market her in multiple movies for years and years and years, and obviously that didn't really happen. She's got 2 movies and that's it. And so they've like doubled down on Harley Quinn and it hasn't worked.
I think it did happen to like I think her in Suicide Squad was pretty big in general. That movie financially performed pretty well for what it was, a villain team up movie, you know. And I mean, that was the whore Halloween outfit that year. It was the whore Halloween outfit. It kind of did that image of her. A lot of people dressed up like that. People did like her in that. The problem was the follow-up movies that they made, and that just because they liked that version of her doesn't mean we want a million fucking Harley Quinn things. You know? Also,
really quickly, Sevi says justice for Sevi. You did write a message. Just put it in the chat, and then I'll read it because it didn't
Sevi
go
says
through.
You fucking lied.
Yeah, I'm a fucking lying grifter. Oh, the new term, by the way, isn't just grifter. It's a grievance grifter. That's the new term being coined by The Gamer.
Grievance grift. So people who grift off
hatred and so now we're not even just
like hope grifters.
I just want to be a fucking normie grifter. I just want to
be an industry grifter where you just like people who say good things about everything.
I don't think that's what he was going for, but that's what I'm going for now. Like you said, a hope grifter, a fucking positivity grifter. Hell yeah. You know what? You want to play stupid games? You'll win stupid prizes. But anyway.
Like a Harley Quinn comic book.
Yeah. But apparently Harley Quinn is sporting this new bat logo. I don't know what the fuck they are doing at this point. Like every single move they've made has truly been like terrible. And sure, okay. There are occasionally moves that like DC and Marvel make where it does seem like, okay, that was a decent decision or that wasn't too bad. But then they do stupid shit like this. I'll look into it. I'll see what it's about because I don't know myself, but they did do that, and I can't really say I'm all that shocked.
Yeah, it's been years and years and years since I bought DC Comics, and the sad thing is, I mean, I used to buy about $80 worth of comics a week. You know, my pull list was crazy, and yeah, just no interest. I'm good.
Oh yeah, and the article I was talking about was this one.
I wish it was further away from me. Thank you.
No problem, buddy. No problem. It says this is a great
Perfect.
time for games. So why does it feel so bad? I was literally zooming it in. Why do you shut the fuck up, bro? I was zooming it in as you
My
were
question
bitching.
is why? In what
Holy
universe is it that far
shit.
away to begin with?
That's just the
Like,
default.
what fucking universe is? What reason is there?
I don't know.
for it
I
to
can
be
actually
zoomed out to
fucking see,
25%
bro.
Zoom.
I can actually fucking see. Maybe get some glasses, bitch. I don't know. I can read it just fine.
You got like a 70-inch TV as your screen or something, so you have to shrink everything down so you
No,
can
it's
see
a
it. What's the
27-inch.
explanation?
It's a
The
27-inch
chat is on
monitor.
my side when it comes to
That's
this. Like, you
fine.
can't
That's
see
fine. They
shit.
can be on your side. Like, holy shit, I wasn't even done yet. I was zooming it in. At least, bitch, before I start zooming it in. Anyway, it says this is a great time for games, so why does it feel so bad? And of course, Mike Drucker here thinks that he's like a fucking comedian. He thinks he's hilarious. So he constantly writes these articles, and what he does is he will say what he's clearly thinking about the state of the industry. He'll say what he believes, and then he'll write it off 2 weeks later when he's getting destroyed on social media for it as a joke. And he'll go, haha, he, I'm actually just like so totally funny. And then he cries like a bitch and blocks me. I'm pretty sure I'm blocked by him on X because I made like 2 videos on his shit ass articles.
Mike Drucker.
Yeah, I call him Mike Cucker, just like I call Neil Druckmann, Neil Cuckman. So maybe that's why he doesn't like me very much. Let's see.
Mike.
Yeah, I'm blocked by this fucking bitch. Like, holy shit, bro. Be a fucking man.
I'm not blocked.
What the fuck? I'm blocked.
I don't really interact with people.
Well, yeah, I like to call people stupid.
It's probably why I'm not monetized on Twitter. I never tweet anything.
Yeah. But well, that's how it goes. I'm blocked by him though. Also, he looks like, I don't know, cancer-ridden Adam Sessler in his profile picture, so probably not a good start. But he says everything in gaming is too much of a gamble. And he says we shouldn't be happy when things fail. And then he says we don't need to be such downers. He's such a little, like, toxic industry fucking bitch. He's so annoying.
You go to the grievance grifter part?
Yeah, I think it's right here. Yeah. So he says, but I am saying that big companies need to stop making this industry feel like it's run by the Grim Reaper. Grievance grifters need to stop making this industry feel like it's an evil woke conspiracy. Jesus Christ.
Look, it's one of two things. Either YouTubers have the power to destroy games before they even come out. Right. And you're just saying that a small group of people have that fucking power. That's how powerful and impactful we are. And we truly are to blame for all these things. Or maybe that the vast majority of people, or at least a significant amount of people, agree with the grievance grifters. And that's why these games fail. Right. And if you're going to blame it on that, those are like two options. And I think they would like to believe that YouTubers just have so much power and influence over their audience, as opposed to they're just filling a demand, which is people feel this way and they like to hear people talk about the way that they're feeling.
Right, exactly. And, like you mentioned, we do see this happen a lot, but the journos will either, on one end of the spectrum, be like, gamers have no power, the industry isn't listening to you because you do not represent gamers. But then on the other side of the spectrum, it's, oh, all it takes is like one toxic YouTuber chud to kill a game. Like, it can't be both at the same time. So pick a fucking lane and stay in it. Like, am I single-handedly killing games because I'm telling my audience about it? Or do I have no power or control in this industry? And I get it, right? Clearly, he is writing for a video game journalism website. He's trying to hold on to his position at the Gamer. Like, clearly he is on the side of the control that's going on. He is a cultural Marxist. He fully agrees with what is happening with the media and the industry. He thinks the Concords are great. So he's trying to just continue to amplify that opinion because he, again, doesn't want to lose his job. But I just don't know how these people continue to write articles like this and never take a step back and go, am I retarded? Like, everybody calls him out on this shit. Thousands of people to maybe their 1 or 2 supporters, right? How do you keep writing dog shit like this? And yeah, like, I guess it does get hate clicks, but clearly it's not getting enough hate clicks because these people are losing their jobs left, right, and center. But I mean, he complains about, oh, it's annoying to have so much negative content. You know what's annoying? Constantly having to hear people like you shill for products that are trash. Okay, stop shilling for the Dustborns, the Relooteds, the Concords, the Flintlock, the Sieges of Dawns, the Highguards. Maybe, I don't know, talk about good games. Maybe be on the side of gamers for once. And then, yeah, you can bitch about the negative content just like we won't have a reason to bitch about the positive or the overly and fake positive, but, well, that's never going to happen. These people don't believe the shit that they're spewing.
It's our fault that Highguard and Relooted failed.
Yeah, exactly.
We should have celebrated it. We shouldn't have been such downers, Vera.
I know,
on our stream that's called Fuck My Life.
I know. We should have been more
How
positive.
dare you accuse us of being negative?
It's too fucking funny. It really, really is, though. Also, Daniel, thank you for the 5. For some reason, it's not popping up in StreamYard. I don't know what's going on tonight, but he says, I'm with Ryan. I used to get like 10 to 15 comics a week, and now I'm done. I can't with these storylines, and the art is ass, too. Take me back to the good days. Yeah, it's pretty depressing. But the state of basically all entertainment is a problem. Sure, we get the occasional really good pieces of content, but we do get a lot of trash these days. And it is hard to have any sort of like faith in any of these companies. Like, again, a DC might put out one good thing every once in a while, but half the time that one good thing goes forgotten because people aren't buying their shit and giving them a chance. But speaking of Highguard and Concord and Relooted, Ryan, what do you think Highguard's player count is at right now? So for anybody who hasn't been paying attention to the news over the past couple of days, since the last show, we found out that the majority of the Highguard developers have now been laid off. Only a core team is working on this game. And I'm curious to see what Ryan's thoughts are. What
1,762.
That's a very specific number. 1,481. So you were close. You were close.
I would have lost if we were playing Price is Right rules.
Yeah, that's okay. It is what it is. Highguard.
Either way, it's equivalent to losing about 97% of their audience or whatever.
Yeah, so Highguard is dead. I mean, it was already dead a day after it released. But it's so funny because they did have a couple thousand people who were playing it pretty consistently every single day. And since the announcement that most of the developers have been laid off, basically nobody's going to be working on this anymore, we are now at the point where virtually nobody's logging in every single day, which does make sense, right? The game's like,
they've announced that it's dead. They've basically told everyone it's done. They've got a core team. I wouldn't be shocked if they issue fucking refunds, honestly.
I think the reason why they're keeping a core team is just to keep the servers up so they don't have to refund.
Yeah, it's a look. I do have a little sympathy for all the people involved in this because you've got people who are dedicated to working on small little things, right? Everyone's working on a small piece of something. Not everyone's in charge of the grand scope of the game and how everything will be. The idea that you put 2.5 or 3 years of your life into this and you're hopeful and you feel good and all of the people in your echo chamber gaslit you about how good it was going to be and then couldn't fail, for it to be 2 weeks later and you fucking done, you're fired, you're out the door, that would suck. That would be a very tough thing to deal with.
Yeah.
At the same time, that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's not like you didn't have a chance. You had the highest profile you could possibly imagine launching your trailer at the end of the Game Awards. And it didn't get downvoted because YouTubers decided not to like it. It got downvoted because people didn't like it. In fact, the only reason YouTubers started talking about it was because it got downvoted. That's why YouTubers started talking about it, because of the backlash that it received. And even with all the negativity surrounding Highguard, the fact that it looked boring, it didn't look like anything new in a sea of live service action hero shooters. What is this offering that you can't get somewhere else? Despite all the negativity, you had 100,000 people playing this game within an hour or two of its release. Right. You had 100,000 people just on Steam that gave it a shot and that you had a chance to win over. And 90% of them were gone after the first day. Many of them were gone after a couple playthroughs. It just wasn't for them. And there's no one to blame but yourselves. You didn't make a product that people wanted, bottom line.
Yeah, exactly. Like it received that initial amount of backlash because people just didn't like the look of it. It's not because, ooh, the mean old YouTubers told people to dislike it. It's just because it sucked. You don't get that many dislikes that quickly unless your game genuinely looks bad. And I get, when you've worked hard on something, you've been working on something for years and years, you have a lot of love, you have a lot of faith in it, you want people to enjoy it the way that you thought that they were going to, but that still doesn't mean you are required to support it. And that also doesn't mean that we have to give you the money based on your level of passion for this project. Like, that's just not the way that the world works. You don't deserve handouts just because you liked something. It was a bad game. It continuously crashed. It was buggy and broken. The fact that they launched it with 3v3 instead of 5v5 was also a wild choice when a week later they added 5v5. So clearly they had that lined up. The skins were bad. The maps were okay, I suppose, but they were far too big for having only 3v3. And again, by the time 5v5 came out, like, I had already uninstalled. There was no shot I was going to play it again. And now I doubt that there's like matches easily available to jump into. I've seen some people on X be like, the servers are still alive. Yeah, for the next 2 fucking weeks, buddy. Okay, I can't possibly imagine that 1,400 people is enough to constantly have matches flowing. It's just not the case.
I mean, there will be, but it's just your core audience of 1,500 people is not going to be enough to keep this game going for very long.
Yeah, no.
And it's certainly not what they had a whole plan. They had an arc mapped out month by month, season by season, all the updates they wanted to do.
I know. And we should have given them a chance, guys. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
They deserved better.
She gone.
So fucking bad. Really quickly, Chris, thank you for the 20. These sycophants will follow a beloved franchise out into the desert like a mirage, and when they get there, they'll drink the sand, not because they're thirsty, but because today it's toxic to acknowledge the difference. I know, you can't call a spade anymore. People can't even figure out what fucking gender they are, so it is, it's the way that the world works now. But thank you for the 20, much appreciated. But
I think the way you pronounced sycophant is interesting. You said sycophant like elephant, whereas I would say sycophant.
Sycophant.
But I don't know which is right.
I don't know. You're probably right. I don't really.
I mean, I usually believe I am. Everyone thinks they're right. That's the entire point of having a fucking opinion. I don't. When people are like, Ryan thinks he's right all the time. Everyone thinks they're right all the time because you're thinking it. Of course you do, until you get proven otherwise. Of course you think you're right.
That's true, but it's just a word pronunciation, so I don't really give a fuck if I'm right or wrong.
Well, it made me. I've never
heard it
thought about
pronounced both
pronouncing it like the
ways,
word
but yeah.
elephant.
I've heard
So
it pronounced both ways, but I also don't care enough to know if I'm right or not.
well, because I want to know if I've been wrong this entire time, you know? Because if I am, I'd have to change my ways.
Chat will agree with you and say that I'm wrong and you're right, so don't worry about it.
I saw a sycophant at the zoo once.
It's funny now that you say it. Vera's AI, stop leaking my secrets. But after last week's stream, 2 days later, Wildlight did make the announcement that they did part ways with some of these developers. Oh, wow. So sad. Jeff Keighley has been silent on it. He hasn't made a single fucking statement. This motherfucker.
Not true. He did post.
Oh, yeah. He posted once.
He posted.
He did post once.
Sad to report that Wildlight Entertainment has reportedly laid off a good chunk of their staff. Sad for.
But he was chilling for this game, post day after day after day. So when you make fucking 30 posts versus one being like, yeah, that's right. This is sad. In my opinion, it's not enough. But man, is that hilarious? Jeff Keighley truly is somebody who just curses all of these projects. I mean, he's got the reverse Midas touch at this fucking point. Like, everything he it dies. It's like that Horizon Hunters Gathering game. Oh my gosh, look at this brand new big game. It's gonna be out soon. Haha, yes. Are you excited? No, bro.
Maybe say that Jeff's just a little out of touch. I think is it acceptable to say that at this point? How old is he?
I don't know how old Jeff Keighley is. Geoff Keighley H.
Gotta be in his 50s, right?
He's 47.
47? Yeah. God, he's only a decade older than me. I'm out of touch.
I was gonna say you're gonna be out of touch soon. Holy shit. Maybe. But it's interesting because obviously he's getting paid a lot to run these events and like be the face of these events. So it is profitable for him to like stay in line and to shill for these projects. Again, something like Highguard, he was paid to promote it at the Game Awards. But I do also wonder if Jeff Keighley's problem is just that he's a yes man and he's all for the toxic positivity that happens in the industry, but not like disingenuously. I wonder if he does actually believe that these games look cool and these games look fun and that these games are what people want. I don't know if you agree, but
I think that my perception of Jeff Keighley is that any new game that comes out, he's going to tweet about it almost. You know what I mean?
I think it's only for the biggest of the biggest, though. Like, he'll tweet about a Hollow Knight Silk Song, which is indie, or he'll tweet about an Expedition 33.
Right.
But he's only talking about, like, that very top of the percentage.
Correct. And in the case of Wildlight Entertainment, the reason I think he even was, like, familiar with the game or whatever is because these are some of the people who were at Respawn, right, that helped do Titanfall and Apex and everything, which is why he talked about it. But yeah, it's just the Game Awards and Jeff Keighley. It used to be a really big deal because there wasn't constantly people online talking about games all the time.
Right.
So that was a big place and people would like pay a lot of attention to things and would get hyped at things that were revealed there. But now that it's in your face 24/7 and people have their own favorite content creators that they subscribe to and get their news from and all that, it's just, it doesn't do anything. It's not very impactful anymore.
Yeah. Do you think, though, that he does genuinely believe that these games look good? I don't know if I believe that Jeff Keighley really loves games the way that he outwardly says it, but it could be the case. He might just genuinely think, well, these look amazing.
I think he knows the people from Wildlight, and I think he probably saw the game and thought it looked
So he was just like, yeah, it's good enough. Like, oh, it looks fun enough. And plus, I've known these people before.
Yeah. And I don't think Do I think there's probably some things he tweets out like monster or not monster, the fucking Horizon Hunters Gathering or whatever.
Horizon Hunters Gathering. By the way, stupid ass name.
I hate
Nobody's
the name.
ever going to remember that name. I kept saying Horizon Gathering Hunters or something like that. I was like, geez, this is not the fucking name of it.
I hate the name for some reason. But I think that for things like that come out, I don't know if he really thinks that's good or not. Or he's just like, hey, look, new trailer for this. Looks interesting. I don't know if he gives a fuck about that.
He's a hope grifter. That's all he is.
I think he probably does. I think Jeff Keighley probably wants people to enjoy games. Yeah. You know? And he probably isn't somebody that goes out of his way to be like, oh, this game fucking sucks. I think he wants to be a positive person. But unfortunately, when you're positive about everything, you're positive about nothing.
Right.
Right? If you're never critical of anything, then your praise of it means nothing because there's no negative, right? It's like your scale's a fucking 8 to 10. If that's your fucking scale, then it means nothing to me.
Speaking of which, apparently we are just too negative all the time because Tanner says, doesn't this shit get old? Some of you guys have been complaining about get woke, go broke for nearly a decade, and 9 out of 10 times it never happens. In this, what you really want your lives to be.
If you're going to criticize us, make sure you do a grammar check. Make sure you don't fuck up the spelling. Tanner, you stupid, dumb, retarded bitch. But you have to check your data there. I don't think 9 out of 10 is quite accurate. I think there's a lot of failures that are out there. Now, certainly there are some things that maybe you can just look at it and say, well, that underperformed. Whereas, no, not everything that gets identified as woke is the biggest flop we've ever seen in history. But increasingly more often, we're seeing a lot of people that hesitate to buy things that have warning signs in them, the red flags that we see. So I do want my life to be exactly like this because I get to make fun of stupid fucking cum-guzzling bitches like you for a living. Who wouldn't want to do that? Tanner, if you were smart enough or intelligent enough or capable enough, wouldn't you like to do that? Just make fun of people for a living?
No, he's positive, Ryan. He's positive, you fuck.
Okay, he loves being positive because you're fucking dudes on the side of the road, probably. But if you were so creative that you could just make fun of me and make a profit off it, I think you'd probably do that. But you can't because you're a fucking loser.
He could make a counter YouTube channel and he could, dissect our claims and talk about us and then prove us wrong. Also, he doesn't give any examples of what 9 out of 10 times. Like, I don't know, even list 5 that we were wrong about. I bet you fucking can't. But people like this, well, they don't want to have a conversation. They just want a little bit of attention. And I know Ryan's happy to give them attention.
And maybe, just maybe, wait for that comment. If you have to say that, maybe wait until we're not talking about a topic like Wildlight Entertainment laying off 90% of their staff after their game failed 2 weeks in, following a trailer that was ratioed to hell that everybody said it was going to fail. And they said, don't worry, our player counts don't matter. And then they fired 90% of their staff, just like everyone said they would. You stupid fuck.
Yeah, why didn't the modern audience show up to play the game? Or I guess they did. 97,000 people showed up to play. It's just that they couldn't hold on to those players because the game was a pile of fucking trash. It was undercooked, should have released in early access. And now we're facing the consequences of their own fucking actions. Like, you sit here and you say, oh, you guys are wrong about so much shit. Yeah, okay. The Concords fail. The Highguards fail. The Relooteds fail. Where are the examples of things that are actually, we were wrong about?
Pull up Tanner's latest comment that he just made. Captain Marvel. All right. I did not have a YouTube channel when Captain Marvel came out.
I did not either.
Okay, so
wrong about us.
Take that out of your data set, buddy. Barbie, I went on Friday Night Tights and went on all these fucking streams that happened in the lead up to Barbie. And you can criticize everybody else if you want because they were blatantly wrong about this movie. I was 1000% right. What I said was, look, does the marketing necessarily appeal to me? No, I'm not. I don't think this is a movie that's made for me. I said, but if you think that a pro-female message is going to turn off the target audience for Barbie, which is women, you're fucking retarded. I said, this movie is going to make absolute fucking bank. And it did. So put that in. Ryan was right, bin. And that bin is going to be overflowing by the time we get done with this. You turned heel turn. The wrong form of heel, by the way, on Mario when you guys were bitching about Peach's outfit.
This motherfucker's a mage.
I didn't do that at all. Jeremy made some comments about Peach's outfit, but he really liked the movie. I thought the movie was fine, and I thought it would make a fuck ton of money. Another one in the Ryan was right. How fucking crazy. How wild is that? What about Wicked? You want to bring up Wicked? Oh, wait. I was the only one that was saying that Wicked 2 years ago, whatever that was when that was coming out. I said, look, I don't think you guys understand. Yes. Is it cringe? Do people not like Ariana Grande into the reboot? Yes. But I don't think you guys understand the fan base. Not a movie that's made for me, but it's got a massive fan base who are going to love to go out and watch this movie.
Well, that's the
$750 million at the box office. Another one in the Ryan is right bin, like I said.
Well, that's the thing. Like Wicked and Barbie, those are for very specific audiences, and that's fine. They know who their audience is. It's not going to be for everybody. It is what it is. Like, I personally, I didn't say Wicked was going to flop. I didn't say Barbie was going to flop. I obviously didn't say Captain Marvel was going to flop because I wasn't fucking on YouTube. Never said Mario was going to flop. Like, you're coming in here with examples that don't even fucking relate to us. Why don't you, I don't know, take a quick look at the channel you're coming into and that you're sitting here and bitching about before you bitch about these fake scenarios? Like, clearly, you saw on like Twitter, oh, Ryan's name or my name. You scroll through, you were like, oh, grifters. You didn't even take the time to research what we fucking talk about, bro. We haven't talked negatively about any of this shit. Well, yeah, we've memed on Captain Marvel in the several years since it released, but clearly we weren't sitting here affecting the ticket sales and we didn't have some bet on, is Captain Marvel going to fail or not? Jesus Christ.
Chris says Ryan wasn't right about people being happy with Stranger Things. I am right. The general audience is actually fine with how Stranger Things ended, and most of them liked it. That's reflected in the scores and stuff like that. There's a hardcore group of weirdos and shippers and freaks that started Conformity Gate that went viral with all the people that have pronouns in their bios and wanted people to fuck each other. Then a handful of people who also didn't like it on our side kind of latched onto that too. The overall consensus on the end of Stranger Things is like, it was pretty good. That is the general normie audience consensus on stuff.
Right, but we're also talking about a normie audience who doesn't have some large amount of like movie or TV watching under their belt, or they're not sitting here and picking every little thing apart. They're just like, yeah, at least most of the characters didn't die. Like, at least they all like got an ending. Like, they were happy with that. But there are a lot of people who didn't like it, for sure. But I mean, clearly it still did the numbers Netflix wanted. I wouldn't come out and say, it's some massive failure because they lost 10 million subscribers. That didn't happen.
Yeah, but by the time it comes out, I think that Stranger Things Season 5 is probably going to be the most streamed television show in history for them.
Probably.
Because it's based on when it comes out and there's a 90-day window after that. Right. So we'll see what happens. But again, it's the same thing when it comes to Barbie, right? A lot of people on our side despised Barbie and hated it and thought it was awful, trash. But I'm on a panel with 9 other men who are in their like 30s, 40s, and 50s. We're not the target audience. And I think sometimes it's important to look outside of your specific space because we're in a bubble of sorts, just like anyone else.
Everybody's in a bubble, yeah.
Everyone's in some sort of corner, in some sort of, and it's important to look outside of that to see what the general audience and how the general audience is going to react to something and predict what the general audience is going to do. Because we could have something that is made specifically for us, but if that market is very niche or very small, that doesn't necessarily mean something's going to be successful. Which is also why I think it's important to understand the dynamics outside of just your space.
That's true. He did another message, but really quickly, CR Vox, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships.
Look at that.
Much appreciated. You just triggered Tanner a lot. Thank you so much for the 20. Very grateful. Hey, Zeus gifted 2 memberships to the channel. Much appreciated. Very grateful. And Six Eyes for $4.99 said, I woke up and noticed I'm still black. Fuck my life.
Oh, that is the worst fuck my life.
Hey, you know what though? You get to play Relooted and feel represented. Aren't you happy about that? Come on, you've got to be happy about that. Relooted, it's for you. You're supposed to feel represented. We'll take our shot very quickly, and then you can
those memberships, by the way.
CR did.
CR. It's a very short name.
I can't open the bottle again.
You're a fucking woman.
I'm getting sick of this every fucking week.
Don't put it on so tight next time.
I know. I need to just.
Is there a man in your house that tightens the bottles, Vera, and then you can't?
Yes, the secret man monster.
Man monster.
I got it. There we go.
Finally.
I know.
All right.
Crazy.
Cheers.
Oof. Thank you for the 20. Much appreciated.
Thank you, CR.
All right, there you go. Tanner's next message. Go ahead, Ryan.
You know,
he seems to like you. He might want to take a couple steps back, 6 feet social distance. Because
you know, if I was really a looser who doesn't matter, I imagine your asshole's quite loose. You guys would just be ignoring me. That red-haired chick sounds like default nerd voice.
Bro, we're on my fucking channel. Also, why don't you put a picture on your fucking profile then? If you're not afraid to be judged, you little gay retard. Go ahead, Ryan.
So I saw you some earlier, like, wow, you got angry. I get angry at anyone who's a fucking retard. And it just so happens you're the only retard in the chat for us to fucking laugh at. And by the way, thank you very much. We made some money off you tonight, Tanner.
We did. I'm very grateful, Tanner. Feel free to stop by next week for episode 27 of Fuck My Life over on Ryan's channel. If you want to wait till it's on my channel, come back in 2 weeks.
Yes, I know you love getting fucked in the ass, so I'm sure you would love to performatively get fucked in the ass live on stream once again. If you think that me getting mad at you is something personal with you, I'm sorry. Once again, you have too high an opinion of yourself. You are just another retard in a sea of retards, and every retard I see, I make fun of. Also, Jacob, with his 2 cents, says, y'all say Hollywood is dying, and now it's not. Y'all are racists. That is why we make fun of you clowns. Cope, ha ha ha. First of all, you're not part of any fucking group. But second of all, Hollywood's dying. Motherfucker, Hollywood made like $20 billion in 2025. You know how much the video game industry made? $202 billion, bro. Hollywood is fucking dead in the gutter compared to other forms of media where differing opinions can actually prevail and good content can actually fucking prevail. Hollywood is not doing good. Sure, it's not technically fully dead yet, but I've never said Hollywood is completely dead and they're not putting anything out anymore. You are an idiot. But then again, you're sitting here and being publicly shamed, so I guess you don't really care. That's how it goes, though. But thank you so much for your input. I'm so grateful for it. But speaking of retards, I know you had seen this thread, Ryan, about Josh Sobel and how he made this long post about reflecting on shipping my first game, Highguard. It was a long post where he basically wanted attention for being a victim. He wanted people to, I guess, give him some sort of like praise, and he wanted to rack up some victim points.
But he was basically talking about how the trailer came out. Content creators love to point out the bias in folks who get positive previews after being flown out for an event, but ignore the fact that when their negative leaning content gets 10 times the engagement of the positive, they've got just as much incentive to lean in a disingenuous direction. And he said, oh, we were dogpiled on the trailer immediately. He personally came under fire due to his nativete on Twitter. He sits here and complains the entire time, but he deleted his account. Not even just the post, straight up nuked his account, which I think is just so funny to me.
It is embarrassing.
It is.
To come out and try to blame gamers and be like, well, it's not all their fault, but really his entire point of it is it's all their fault. It's YouTubers' fault. It's gamers' faults. It's not our faults. Despite all the backlash, you had 100,000 people playing. That is a lot. People would kill for those kind of numbers. People would love for those kind of numbers on their game when it debuts in the first couple hours. You had that opportunity to win people over. The truth is, people tried it, didn't like it, and they stopped playing.
Right.
Like, it would be one thing if you launched it and only 3,000 people played because of all the bad PR, but 100,000 people. You want to know who crowed from the fucking rooftops about 100,000 people? Jeff Keighley did. All the people that he listed as friends in the sector, right? They all crowed about, oh, I thought it was going to flop when it had 100,000. People gave it a chance. And it failed. And then you put this big, long diatribe out there and you get ratioed so badly, you delete your entire fucking account. You are pathetic. You are weak. You're a pussy ass bitch. And I don't think that this is made for you. I think you should find another line of business. Because quite frankly,
Ryan,
why am I going to want to play anything that has you a part of it when you have a catastrophic failure like this? Even though you're hurt and your pride is wounded and all this stuff, and you decide to lash out at the very same people that you need to buy your games and support it instead of acknowledge any flaws of your own.
But Ryan, he has autism. He had that in his bio, man. How could you possibly make fun of someone that's got autism?
If you
he uses that as a line of fucking defense, like, bro, I do not give a fuck, man. Don't post stupid opinions online if you don't want people to call you out on your stupid opinions.
Yeah, if you have autism, don't post online then. If you can't handle people saying mean things to you because you're an autistic person, don't post things online. Just go bury your fucking head in the sand. Go lock yourself in the closet. Never come out. We don't want to see you anyway. We don't want to fucking interact with you. Maybe we should send you to Canada for some euthanasia. Maybe that would help out your situation. I don't know. But get the fuck out of here. Fuck off.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what he did. He did fuck off because he deleted his account, which I think is so rich because when you post something online, you are allowed to be criticized. Like, if you're a developer, if you're a YouTuber, whatever, these are public opinions that you yourself are choosing to post. If you do not like the backlash, if you don't like the interaction, don't post online. He literally admits that there are plenty of his coworkers who opted to not post online, and he didn't understand why they didn't post. Yeah, because they don't want to look like fucking retards like you do. This game was already given a chance, and then you double down with a post of reflecting on shipping my first game. That is a terrible move, brother. Like, you got 97,000 people in game in the first hour of release. That is insane. It even regardless of it being sponsored because of like sponsored streamers and they were given money to show off, it doesn't matter. That is still 97,000 people in game. There are indie devs who would love those numbers, who would jump at the opportunity for those numbers. But while you have the 97K, you weren't able to keep them around. And that's your fault. Next time, I don't know, maybe be a better game developer. Maybe make a better fucking game. It's just that simple. And the fact that you go online and then you double down on the attacks against gamers and you say, ooh, it's gamers' faults that this failed, and ooh, it's YouTubers' faults, just goes to show how little you know and understand, because it's like me streaming Relooted. I had like 700 people watching me play Relooted. How many of those people were actually going to buy the game? None. maybe one, maybe two people were actually going to buy the game. Besides that, nobody was going to buy the game. So technically, you are just getting free press. But nope.
And if your game is good,
It gets people to buy it.
Like it. If it's good, it's, you know what?
Yeah.
I know she doesn't like the game, but fuck, kind of looks cool to me. I think I'm going to try it.
I'm going to go download it. I'm going to go buy it. I'm going to go support them. Exactly. Like, I don't control what people do and do not do. People can see my stream and then decide, wow, that looks cool. I'm going to buy it. Or, hey, that looks like shit. I'm not going to buy it. It's why I highlight games, but it's always, ooh, the toxic YouTubers are being mean to it. If people were liking the video and laughing at it, they weren't going to buy it anyway, bro. You were never going to get their support if YouTubers did or did not exist. Like, it's not our fault that people didn't show up to buy it. Just make a better product next time. But I think this is hilarious. He runs...
It's a culmination of things, right? It's... It is not one thing that made this game fail.
Yeah, no, it was
they decided in 2026 to come out with a live service hero shooter type of thing
and not market it.
Have one trailer that got very, very, like, what they probably should have done after that trailer is they probably should have taken a step back and they should have said, hey, we hear you. You hear the feedback. We're going to delay the release of this game and we're going to like retool some stuff and we're going to come back. That maybe could have saved them if they had listened to the feedback instead of assuming that all of it was in bad faith and that actually everyone was going to love this game. One of the interesting things he says in this article is actually, if you can click on Sael's picture that he put right there.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually one of the very interesting things. Everyone I knew who had any connection to the Timor project had the same sentiments. In their echo chamber, this is what they were hearing. This is lightning in a bottle. I trust this team wholeheartedly. If there's one project nobody in the industry is worried will fail, it's yours. This has mainstream hit written all over it. There's no way this game will flop. I could play this game all day. So because everyone in your bubble was telling you these things, all this stuff that came in from outside your bubble, which is the vast majority of the audience who said this looks like shit, you didn't listen to them because you thought it was all bad faith criticism. So you didn't change anything. You didn't do anything different. You put the game out and everyone said the exact same thing. This is fucking dog shit. This isn't interesting. I'm not going to play this anymore. I'm done with it. And you killed yourselves. You committed suicide.
Right. You only flew out people that were going to jerk you off. You didn't fly anybody out that was going to be critical of your game, tell you the God honest truth about it, that was going to sit here and really like nitpick this game. You only flew out people who were going to say, yes, this is amazing. You can't just surround yourself with yes men. And I get it, right? Oh, it's nice to constantly have people telling you that you're doing so good and you're doing so awesome and amazing. But you need to bring in people who are going to tell you the truth, not just what you want to hear. And it's like, there's these articles releasing about this, and even he said it, you know, oh, how are people gonna trust when you're flying people out? How are we supposed to? You think that we're like sitting here and complaining unfairly? Of course we're going to question who you're flying out, who you're paying for flights for, paying for hotel rooms for, paying for food for, getting to see your game early, promoting your event. Of course it seems like you're just choosing fucking shills, because you are. You're choosing the people who are going to best promote your brand and best promote your product, and it didn't help you in the long run. And you only have yourselves to blame for this situation going so poorly. So, I mean, maybe when we do the stream next week, Highguard will have been shut down. I don't know. I think they're trying to keep it alive so they don't have to refund people, because like with Concord they had to refund people because it was such a short window. But if they leave this game up for 6 months and they just don't update it, in 6 months basically nobody will be playing it, but nobody's going to be asking for refunds, and then they don't have to give any money back. Like, I don't
like this studio could not survive refunds. I think that's also whereas Concord's backed by Sony, where they can be like, yeah, let's just fucking do it.
Well, the studio clearly can't survive anyway because they laid almost everybody off. So I don't know. I don't know what a core team means. I'm gonna assume that's like 5 to 10 people who are supposed to just like maintain the servers and Maybe if they have new content released, like the new
I
content,
don't think
like
they're going to do any new
skins.
content.
But
I
I
think
don't
it
think
just
they
be
do
bug
that.
fixes and stuff.
Right. I don't think they do new content. So in case there are bugs or glitches or technical problems, then they wouldn't have anybody to fix those issues. So I think it's just gonna fade into obscurity. But either way, sucks to suck. You get what you deserve. You put yourselves into this situation, and too bad, so sad. There's nothing else to really say about it. T Little, thank you for the $9.99. Tanner Tax, this is why I like you both. Uh-oh, Tanner's not gonna be happy. One dono equals one trigger. He hasn't said anything, so I think he's done being publicly shamed.
I'd recommend him to pull it.
Yeah.
The trigger, I mean.
Yeah. SCDB, thank you for the 5. Here's 5. Oh shit. Guess I got grifted again. Wonder what mean things chat will say now. So funny. What makes it even better is you just know for a fact that these people are coping and seething behind their fucking computer screens like, ah, shit, I made them money. But hey, get what you deserve. Seaminator, thank you for the 2. Anime is better than Sucky Wood. Anime is really good. I agree. And Phrasefra, thank you for the $9.99. Tanner Wilburn, what a silly name, is a moronic cultural Marxist. Yes, he is, and is an example of the feminization of America. It is true.
Is Tanner American?
I don't know, but we could probably
Tanner
assume.
Wilburn.
Kind of sounds like a Canadian name to me. I don't know why. Sounds like a little bitch name. Sorry to the Canadians out there. But some of you guys are whack. You guys have sweet baby ink. That's enough for me to say red flag.
I mean, we got a lot of woke lunatics in America too.
We do.
Because I mean, we got 350 million people or whatever it is at this point. Maybe it's almost 400 million now, but got a lot of people. So
yeah. Exactly. But thank you for the $9.99. Much appreciated. So last week, guys, Ryan got out of streaming Relooted with me. He didn't have to play it because these trash-ass developers didn't put co-op in this fucking game, which, by the way, you play with, like, multiple different characters. You always stay as the same main character, but there's all these, like, little side characters who help you, like these little companions. They'll do things like grapple hook and fucking chuck you across the map, the massive lady. Of course, the massive black lady. I don't think I need to specify.
I'm glad
Ryan,
you did, though.
I have a couple of questions to ask you. First of all, who do you think, or I guess, what race do you think the main villains are? I bet you can't guess.
White.
White. Wow. Yes. Number 2, how many people do you think are in game at the moment on Steam? Again, it did release on Game Pass, so maybe they got some people on Game Pass. How many people
31.
do you think? 31. 20.
Whoa, 20.
That's a lot of people. I don't know. It's
prime time. This is prime time.
The lowest it's gotten down to was 5.
Well, that's when it debuted. That doesn't count.
That was 5. Lowest is 11.
Okay.
11 people. I don't know. 5 and 11 aren't much different. So, I mean, it's basically fucking 0. This game's only $15. You can't get anybody in your game when it's only $15.
I know some retard sent it to me actually.
Did you ever claim it?
Not yet.
No. You have to go do that right now, you fuck.
Every time I come to the computer, it pops up.
No. Yeah. You got to. You have to. Come on, Ryan. Are you a racist or what? If you're a racist, if you're a racist, you will redeem it and play it because it is the most racist shit I've ever played in the history of my life.
I will redeem it and play it. The funny thing is, you
guys just heard it. He's gonna play it.
That you guys should have seen how upset Vera was.
I was pissed, bro. This is not fair. I had to go through this dog shit alone.
Me into doing it. Sure, I'll play Relooted. Blah blah. I fucking gave in. And then she finds out it's not co-op, and she had a meltdown. She was very upset.
It's fucking stupid. I have to deal with this dog shit, but you get to get out of this fucking experience? No, you don't. No, I gifted it to you. You have to play it. You are legally obligated to play this dog shit now. But I'm sure you're shocked to hear that now it's caused quite a stir on social
Kerfuffle.
media. Yeah, quite a kerfuffle, because the CEO and creative director, I know you did a video on it, responded to the backlash that the game has been receiving, saying you can't turn off the forums as a dev, which I think personally he hasn't like taken the situation into his own hands because they want to play victim, because on Steam you can turn a setting on where only owners of the game can talk about it. So that means you'd have 5 fucking people talking about the game in the Steam discussions. But if they click that option, that means that they can't play the victim. And then maybe it's just that he's too stupid to know that, because he's clearly not a competent game developer. But now the media is writing all of these articles defending them. This shouldn't be normal. Developers speak out about bigotry on Steam, the world's biggest PC gaming storefront.
Bro, what is this thumbnail from Guardian?
A critical error, unable to restore humanity. That's just so stupid.
Like,
holy shit.
So can you go back to the example of the racism bigotry? Because I went through this. Not racism and bigotry. I've never gone through that. Because I'm
this
white,
image?
I'm privileged. But yeah, this. So
what does that say at the bottom? Vera Dark protecting me from this game. I'm a bigot, guys.
So this is the Steam forum for Relooted. It's all grave dancing, rightoid, culture war incels. Do you think Valve is ever going to crack down on this shit? They allow this nonsense to fester on their platform, providing hate mongers a soapbox to spew vile racist bullshit. Deeply frustrating. I'm going to read every single one of these, and genuinely non-biased, I think we should go and say, is this like beyond the pale? Should this be fucking flagged by anyone with a brain? The largest audience looted this game someplace else. Just sounds like a joke to me. Like, what are you going to flag? What are you going to remove that for?
Right.
This is not the way to get any sort of message across. Seems fine. So, how is this funded? Is that racist? Hey, fellow chuds. Somebody memeing. N. Now, I think we all understand what the N is. It's somebody trying to start an N-word tower. I think we all understand that.
N for the developer's name, Niam Comp. Duh.
Now, look, if people spell out the N-word, you could be like, you know what? That should probably be removed. Okay, I'll see her. But it's just an N at this point. All the racist unintentionally.
By the way, that N didn't actually start that thread. It was just the N and then other people bickering. That's it.
There you go.
So, yeah.
All the racists unintentionally helping this game is really, probably someone says really funny, and it probably got a bunch of people saying you're retarded. No one's playing this game. That shouldn't be banned. And so the chuds remain. That shouldn't be banned. Thank you, devs, for being DEI LGBTQ plus inclusive. That's a troll, but you can't ban.
Right,
why should
you can't ban somebody for farming jesters.
I'm not white. I'm not black either. Okay? So taking an object on the ground is theft?
These are so funny.
56 concurrent player peak. Nothing racist or
actually, it's 57, if we want to be technical.
Black equals thief. Gaming.
That's the game they wrote.
The game.
Yeah.
And then the last one, Baradark protected me from this game. So this is their huge example of what Valve needs to crack down on. Look,
right. I'm sure that there are people, if you really start combing through this, who are saying like shit that Steam would most likely ban and they just haven't moderated, or that would be moderated by a lot of moderators on a lot of different platforms. Sure. But first of all, you're not showing those examples, so I'm not giving you the benefit of the fucking doubt. And second of all, if their argument is going to be, oh, it's turned into like this disgusting like forum and they're spewing racist bullshit, there's people that are arguing back with them who are saying, you are just like a terrible person and this isn't a game for you and get off the forum. So then you have to say the truth, which is, oh, well, if people are arguing, both sides would be arguing then. Are you going to ban your supporters for not following the forum's rules? Of course you're not.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing that should be banned here. There's nothing racist or vile that should be banned. And for there to be a whole argument about this and the dev being like, it's really sad the things they mark as not against terms of service. Maybe it's because you're all soft. Maybe it's because you're all pussies. Maybe it's because you're piles of shit. Maybe it's because you can't handle that people don't like your garbage game. You want to be in a hug box where no one can criticize you. That means that piece of shit has flagged all this stuff. He's flagged all these things and they don't get removed. You know why? Because it's not against terms of service. Because there's nothing racist about it. There's nothing bigoted about it. Stop being fucking cocksucking bitches. That's my advice for you in life. Stop being fake victims, black people. Maybe you'd get on a lot better in life if you stop trying to be the victims at every single opportunity. Maybe stop blaming white people for all your problems, including all these things that they saved from your dog shit countries, by the way. Maybe, just maybe, take ownership and accountability and try to better yourselves instead of blaming all of your problems on white people while you swipe your fucking EBT.
By the way, Ryan, someone named MCU Fanboy wants to know why you hate black so much.
I love
he says
black
that you're
people.
the most racist person he's seen on the platform.
I love black people, which is why I'm trying to help them, which is why I'm trying to, in the same way that I love fat people. When I tell you that you're fat, disgusting pile of shit, you need to lose weight because you're going to die if you don't. In
That's
the
not
same
very
way
toxic
that if the black
positivity of
community
you.
continues to not acknowledge the problems that they have, that they are causing, that they are perpetuating, and only want to blame white people, they will never, ever get any better. But they don't want to do that. I love black people more than you do.
Bold statement, but also probably true, because do you think MCU Fanboy really gives a fuck? Nope, probably not. But this article is obviously clearly being written because of what is happening to Relooted. But it says multiple game creators describe ineffective moderation on the platform, resulting in unchecked hatred in forums and targeted campaigns of negative anti-woke reviews. But they talk about how it's first Relooted. Also, they go on to say, oh, the poor transgender game developers. Oh my gosh, that people have been too mean to these individuals. I don't know how many times in this article they mention transgender creators, 6 times. But they say, according to developers who spoke with The Guardian, abuse.
41% of those will be edited out at some point.
Abuse, particularly directed towards transgender creators, is a fact of life on the platform. I talk about games every day. I make 2 to 3 videos a day. I live stream 20 plus hours of video games a week. I cannot remember the last time I specifically talked about a scenario or a situation in a video where people went to the Steam forums to bitch about a transgender developer. Newsflash, because it doesn't fucking happen. Sure, there may be a correlation where, oh, there happens to be a transgender developer on a team on a specific game, but I have not seen anybody specifically go to the forums and, like, as they're saying, like, review bomb and leave all these terrible comments on a forum because of this. This is just fucking bullshit, and it's this victimhood mentality on full display again. But they need a buzzword. So in this case, it's going to be transgender. Oh my gosh, the transgender creators. So mean to. I don't know of any transgenders that are on fucking Relooted's team. I don't know of any transgenders that worked on Highguard. You're just trying to, again, first of all, represent the few people that wanted to talk to you guys because, well, who in their right mind would actually want to fucking talk to you guys? But
Yeah,
second of
trans,
all,
right?
yeah. But second of all, you're just desperate to write an article and you're desperate for attention.
We see this a lot. People trying to make these waves and try to force Valve to make a statement about all this stuff.
Right.
Look, if you are a public person of any kind, if you put your name on anything, if you're trying to sell a product, if you make content, if you tweet, whatever, there's going to be people that don't agree with you. There's going to be people that don't like what you're selling. There's going to be people that attack you. There's going to be people that shit on you. That's just the way it is. There's people in my YouTube comment section who hate me because I'm white and because the things I talk about. It is what it is. I like, that's the way the fucking world is. You're not going to have unanimous approval by everyone. And by crying, imagine me starting a campaign against YouTube to stop people from saying mean things about me in my comment section. Like, right. Instead, if I see retards, I can just pull them up and make fun of them. But unfortunately, because these people are in the minority in terms of what they think and what they're pushing, and that the people do not enjoy their products, that's at the end of this. If these games were massively successful and the amount of positive feedback greatly overwhelmed the negative, they wouldn't be sitting here bitching and moaning about it. The problem is they don't have very much positive feedback because their games fucking suck. So their idea is to get rid of the negative feedback so that they're only left with positive.
I also think what is so fascinating about this, as you can see, is they use an example of a Steam curator group titled No Woke with 1,531 followers. They refuse to use Sweet Baby Ink Detected or DEI Detected, which has 480,000 followers, because they want to present it as if it is a small, toxic, racist, bigoted group of people, when clearly there's millions of people who are sick of agendas being pushed in our entertainment, clearly sick of what developers are doing, how they shove their politics into everything that they're making. Like, this is not just a few mean people who are just being very loud and vocal on the internet. No, it's millions of people at the end of the day. But they don't want to present it as that, because then some normie clicking on the Gamer's article might actually go, wait a minute, that's a lot of people. Why would all of these people have this one opinion? It's so stupid. But then again, so is The Guardian. Of course, we would be here all fucking day if we talked about this. But they talked to Ethan, the developer of Coven, a first-person action horror set in the 1600s, says he has been targeted by Charlie Tweets Detected, a curator devoted to recommending games based solely on whether their developers are perceived to have correctly mourned the assassination of right-wing activist Charlie Kirk. There are examples in here of brown space lesbians. Gee whiz, guys, I wonder why the fuck these developers are on this list. Shit, I bet this game was fucking amazing, huh? But it's them just talking to these small developers and all of them are saying the same exact thing, that there needs to be better moderation tools, because they just don't like what people are saying about their products. They want more tools to be able to silence the gamers who they think are in the wrong, or who are being a little too mean or hurting their feelings. God. It's a lovely day.
Maybe these trans people need to go to, I don't know, seek some help, seek some therapy or something, or else you'll end up like the person in Rhode Island today. Just saying, don't let the stress get to you. We know you like to get violent.
It's true. It says, though, it is increasingly easy, however, for the average consumer to log onto Steam and encounter abuse, bigotry, and hate, much of which has been cleared by moderators. Ah, yes, of course, because now we're just trying to protect everyone. Everybody deserves to be defended. And they say it's because reviews affect a game's visibility on Steam. A single negative rating can mean the difference between success and failure. Lax moderation doesn't just create individual harm, but has profound professional and economic implications for developers across the platform. So, they hit all of them here. Oh, you're abusing developers. You're being mean to developers. We need to protect the developers. We need to protect audiences. Oh, well, suddenly they aren't being given a fair enough shot because their games are being buried from one negative review. Hey, news fucking flash. If one negative review buries your game probably wasn't that great in the first place, and you probably shouldn't have went into this game expecting to gain some massive career off of it. It's just the truth of the matter. Okay, I respect anybody who wants to make any sort of game, any sort of product. That's perfectly fine. But if your life and death relies on one single negative review, first of all, I don't think you were cut out for game development because it's bothering you so much to the point where you're like demanding more moderation and these different guidelines, which is wild in of itself. But not every single game can make millions of dollars, and not every single game can blow up and be massively successful. Like, clearly, maybe your game just didn't have a large audience, and that's fine. Not every single game needs to. But the fact that The Guardian is sitting here writing this entire article just to damage control for things like Relooted, to damage control for these developers who feel like they've been wronged by the toxic anti-wokers of the industry is kind of hilarious.
Can you click on Jeffrey Bunting and see if he's got a social media profile we can take a look at?
You cannot on The Guardian.
Probably a good idea from them.
I can see if I can find it.
I usually like to do that. You know what I mean? When you see something really stupid, they see like the list of things they've talked about.
Jeffrey Bunting, journalist. He's a freelance journalist and a book designer. Okay, brother.
Book designer?
That's what his retard website says.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
How do you go about designing a book? It's pretty basic, right? Fucking covers on the outside, pages in the middle, turn it fucking right or left to right. Like, what are we doing here?
I don't
right to left.
see any. I don't see any sort of like social media for him.
Fair enough.
He's the one journo who's not on the internet. Yeah, I do not see anything. So nothing we can point and laugh at, unfortunately. Like you said, it probably is for the best, seeing as nobody's going to like agree with his takes anyway. But he did previously work at the New York Times, Washington Post, and Wired. So, and Rolling Stones. Oh, maybe he's getting some handouts from Alyssa Mercante. I don't know. But we're seeing a lot of articles like this. Kotaku said Relooted is a big black middle finger to history controlled by white people.
This is my favorite article. I like how you started saying black. You're starting to say black a little bit like me, Vera. I think I'm rubbing off.
Well,
on
I'm doing it intentionally, you know?
Relooted is a big
I think it's
black
funny.
middle finger.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
This is how I say it.
Yeah, well, you're also saying it intentionally, clearly, Ryan.
I've said it like that my entire life.
I mean, this article basically has nothing going for it. They really don't even sit here and say if it's a good game. They just say, well, it's a good history lesson. Yeah, fucking sanitized, completely victimized history. You leave out important facts, but they say, thanks to characters like Indiana Jones, Lara Croft, Nathan Drake, and more, pop culture has sanitized the image of the grave robbers into that historically conscious treasure hunter. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's fucking important that we have historically conscious treasure hunters instead of a bunch of black people breaking into mansions, breaking glass and windows, and destroying property and homes, and then stealing things. Did you motherfuckers really think that this was a good idea? I don't know how. It is the most racist game I have ever played, and they clearly had to fucking know how racist this shit was. They just thought it was funny, I suppose.
I mean, I think racism is funny sometimes.
It is funny occasionally when it's a joke. This is just pathetic. This is just pathetic all around. Then you have
the entire premise of relooting African artifacts that are in museums. Do you think that because you're from the same continent that they originated, do you think that you're entitled to those things? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very strange how that idea even works. It's kind of like these people who think that their land is still stolen, like that people are on stolen land because their tribe was the last in a series of like a dozen who had fought wars over a century on that thing that before they got kicked off by white people, but for some reason it really belongs to them. It's very strange.
Yeah.
And obviously no one cares. It got a lot of attention. It got a lot of press. And you can only get 20 people playing this game. No one's interested. Even black people don't want to play it.
What are we doing?
Yeah, this game had one single post made by IGN that had like 700,000 views. You are telling me the best you could get out of 700K is 57 max players. Clearly, it did reach a wide audience. It did reach quite a few people. And that's just one. Never mind the, again, Kotakus, the PC gamers who are saying it's a fine heist game, but it's a better history lesson. And BBC that's saying this new video game sees Africans fantasize about taking back treasures from Europe's museums. You'd think with 500K views on this post, the 700K on the other post, they'd manage a few more people. This is a $15 game. It's not like, oh, the cost of entry was too high for the experience they were given. If you can't sell your game at $15 fucking dollars, and the best you can get is 57, that's pretty pathetic. But I don't think they're going to be making a sequel. Apparently, they wanted to make this like a series of games. And like, I don't know if...
Relooted. Relooted.
Yeah, basically. I don't know.
They can make a prequel, just call it Looted. That's the game everybody really wants, let's be honest.
Exactly. I didn't see any details, like real details on it. So I don't know if they wanted to do more like African artifacts or if they wanted to do it with multiple cultures. I'd assume not multiple cultures because these people are fucking racist. But I mean, at the end of the day, I do not think that they are going to be getting a Relooted anytime soon. I don't see that being in the realm of possibility. So sucks to suck, I guess. It is what it is for them, and I suppose it's not that good. More layoffs incoming. They had 50 people that worked on this fucking game. Never mind hiring like Sweet Baby Inc. to help them.
How many black people worked on this game?
I don't know. At least a couple. I'd assume.
Like Ben Mears doesn't sound like a black name.
No, I don't think that he is, but I'd assume there are some black people that worked on it.
It'd be very racist if they didn't, you know.
True.
Wouldn't be very authentic. That's why they had to hire Sweet Baby Inc. because it was just all white people trying to make a game about black people, about how they hate white people.
Exactly. CR Vox, thank you for the 20. Highguard tried to do so much yet accomplished so little. When you try to appeal to everyone, it ends up being empty and appeals to no one. Maybe Relooted and Highguard should merge. High Loot Guard. Yeah, let's just throw all the shit into one pile and then make mega shit like a fucking transformer.
That would be like the Concord release schedule for this year.
That is true. That is a good segue. We'll talk about this really quickly.
I'm good at those.
I think that this shit is hilarious. So this image popped up the other day. And for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, it says Concord fans are eating good. The Concordian timeline. You have Concord, August 23rd, 2024. Highguard, January 26th, 2026. Marathon, March 5th, 2026. Horizon Hunters Gathering, coming 2026. Pretty simple. And, you know, I think we've seen a lot of games release, they flop. People can generally get a sense of what is going to do good, what is going to do bad. And it was supposed to be a meme. It blew up, and there are people who are so triggered over this. They are freaking out. I'm actually living in a fucking nightmare. Gamers are now picking and choosing games to massacre before they even release. These Candy Crush gamers are ruining gaming before my very eyes. It's so funny that this motherfucker says, ooh, the Candy Crush gamers, when he's probably a Candy Crush gamer. You have ones like this. Damn, y'all really turned Concord into a phrase to describe games that are seemingly DOA. It's really sad, and now I want Marathon and Horizon to be good out of spite. This incessant hating is not good for the video game industry. Maybe developers should make better fucking games that we don't constantly have to call shit. Maybe if they don't make shit, we won't be talking about shit.
It's like, do people really think that we want everything to be bad?
I think that they genuinely do, which is wild to me because I don't want every game to be bad. If tomorrow I woke up and every game was a 10 out of 10, I'd be the happiest motherfucker on this planet. I would be so happy. Nobody deserves to be scammed out of $70. Nobody deserves to be hyped for years and then have their favorite characters Jolin won or fucking destroyed by a strong woman. Nobody wants games to come out and be buggy and broken.
Like I spent 4.5 hours on a stream last night. I stayed up until 4 a.m, basically, talking about how much I really, really like Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the show, and how much I like the books and the adaptation and things like that. You don't think that that's way better for me than having to watch something like Star Trek Starfleet Academy? You know, nobody wants everything to be bad. We want it to be good, but we also want to be able to say if something's bad or something's good.
Right. And we should be able to. It's fine if you like something. It's fine if I dislike something. But to sit here and say that, like, oh, people shouldn't be calling things out based on their teasers and trailers is wild. The reason why companies put out teasers and trailers is so people will judge their game. Sure, they want it to be positive, but sometimes it's just going to be negative, and that's the way that the cookie crumbles. This person says, I will never understand people that get excited about the prospect of seeing something fail. Very weird. Rooting for the failure of a game before they've come out is pathetic loser behavior. You didn't show up to buy fucking Relooted. You didn't show up to play Concord. You didn't show up to play Highguard. Shut the hell up, bro. Holy fuck. If all these whiny bitch asses showed up to play these dog shit games, they'd still be alive.
If all of the people that are tweeting about this had bought Relooted, it wouldn't be looking like such a massive disaster right now.
Right. Exactly. And they get mad when we just talk about something. I don't know. It's your turn to put your money where your fucking mouth is. It's time for you to show up and support the products. You're sitting here saying, oh my gosh, you're going to be so good. Did you play Concord, bro? Probably not. Did you play Highguard, bro? Probably not. Are you going to play Marathon? Probably not. Horizon? Probably not. Like, these games are failing because your group isn't showing up to play them. I sit here on these fucking streams, and I'm the one playing this dog shit, okay? I'm the one who played Concord. I'm the one who played Highguard. I'm the one who played Relooted. Shut the fuck up, bro. Holy mother of pearl. I'm the only motherfucker in the existence of the world who played this shit, okay? I'm so sick of these bitch asses.
This tweet's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
From Danny.
Yeah. I'm living in a fucking nightmare. Kill yourself. What do you want me to say, bro? Don't live in it then. Turn the social media off, man. It's just that simple. You don't have to sit here and listen to it. You can close your phone. You can shut your phone off. You can just ignore it, man. I don't know, maybe play one of the fucking games you're bitching about. Holy shit. I'm so sick of these people. They don't show up to play these games, and I'm the motherfucker that does. So that means my opinion means more than yours, Danny. So stupid.
Gamers are now picking and choosing games to massacre before they even release. These Candy Crush gamers are ruining gaming before my very eyes. These Candy Crush gamers. One of the criticisms about all these games specifically is actually that they all look kind of exactly the same.
They do.
In a lot of ways, which is like funny to then label the people who are calling it out as Candy Crush gamers.
Right.
But can you click on Danny or hover over Danny's profile?
I can. He's a Twitch streamer.
With 400 followers.
Wow, guys. He's so, like, totally cool. Wow. Solo 80 limbs, new world record. 2023, the last time you got a fucking record that you were proud of was 2023. Maybe don't fucking play video games anymore, bro. Maybe go back to school or something. Holy shit.
Hey, it's a world record,
The last time was 2023.
It's not his record. That's a world record.
Right. I bet there's definitely so much fucking attention. Oh my gosh, it's Danny. I bet all the developers say that every time he logs into his fucking account on their games, huh? People like this are so stupid.
The idea, oh look, sweaty sequence between the best players in
This guy thought he was, no wonder he's salty. He thought he was going to be the next big fucking Highguard esport player. That's why he wants his game to survive, because he'd only have like 5 fucking competitors for comp.
Nobody
He'd be
can
able
look
to
at
be
this.
number 1 in the world because there's only 8 people playing it in the world.
No one can look at this and say it's mediocre.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's it all right. You creatures push this game away like it's the plague, and it was unwarranted. Wow, Danny, you're very stunning, very brave. Wow, wow, wow. You creatures, huh? Doesn't sound like very inclusive language to me. I think Danny might need to be fucking canceled, huh? Oh, wow, guys, he had 2.5k likes on that.
I don't think Danny needs to be canceled. I don't think he's very relevant, and I don't think we need
No.
to cancel anyone. But like, it's interesting that somebody making a meme of that, the Concordian timeline, and he's like, "This is my nightmare."
Right.
Bro, your life
Like,
must
this
be really
is the
fucking
hill
easy,
you're
dude.
going to die on. Like, this is where you're like heartbroken and disgusted by what's going on in the gaming industry. Like, this? Really? This game was trash. This game was just not good. Okay? And then he says, I can always respect that this game just wasn't for me. So that means if you say anything that is, oh, I think this game is bad or trash, it doesn't count now? It's irrelevant now? Ugh, people like this drive me insane. But that's the latest thread, the Concordian timeline. It's causing some meltdowns. Guys, Danny is going through a tough time right now. He thought he was going to be #1 esports player in this game. Probably because he sucks at most other games, so he can't actually get into the competitive scene. But hey, he tried to get some attention. And, well, a couple of other people are saying this is so unfair, even though they didn't show up to play these games. So maybe next time they should. And
maybe you should continue to stream it to your audience, not just when you're getting paid to do it. Maybe that'll have more people actually invested in it.
Maybe.
If after the first 24 hours you never play it again, maybe people actually believe that you like it.
Maybe. Food for thought. Mega Flare, thank you for the 10. The Dead or Alive devs went to Reddit for feedback on the new game, but the mods are deleting comments asking for the game to not be censored. Will you cover this? I don't know anything about the situation, so I'd have to look into it.
I've heard that they are looking
Reddit's
for
a
feedback for the
cesspool.
game. I haven't heard about the other stuff. Probably because the
Yeah.
comments got deleted, so I never saw them.
Right, that might be it. I haven't seen any like posts on it or anything. I obviously don't use Reddit, so I don't, casually scroll the different threads, but I will take a look at it later on. But thank you for the 10. Thank you for the heads up. Much appreciated. So, this happened a couple of days ago. Ryan, Snow White. I think we all knew that Snow White did not make the money Disney was expecting. It faced a lot of problems before release because of Rachel Zegler. Now that it is finally out, it's been out for quite a while now.
It's been less than a year.
Yes.
It feels like 3 years ago that this movie came out.
It really does, but that's because it was delayed and they were pushing off the marketing and all that, and they really they drew out the marketing period, which
you know why I think it seemed so long? Because Rachel Zegler was on a generational bad run for PR that started when they announced the movie.
That is true, yeah.
From the moment they announced it and she appeared at D23 or whatever, was that 2022
with
or
Gal
something?
Gadot, yeah.
Like, it's been nonstop bad PR. So it was like 2 or 3 years of bad PR for the movie, which is why it feels like it came out so long ago. And it's funny because this was something that didn't get big right away. I covered the Rachel Zegler interview where she talked about she's not going to be saved by the queen, or when Gal Gadot was there, so she's not going to be saved by the prince. It's not 1937 anymore, all that stuff. I talked about that 7 months before the story really became a big deal. Because it revamped, and it all revamped because of that leaked picture from set where people thought it was the 7 dwarves, but it was actually the bandits. And so people thought that those diverse creatures were going to be the seven dwarves, which they weren't, and they never were going to be. I reported that consistently throughout, and everybody said, no, you're wrong. Of course, I was right because I'm basically always right. But that had everybody else go back and look at all the shit that was going on, and people found the Rachel Zegler stuff. That's when it went nuclear, all because of that one leaked shot that people thought were the dwarves, which is fucking wild.
Yes, but now we have the information that Disney has lost $170 million on Snow White as the studio reveals the movie blew its budget. I mean, this did go through multiple sets of reshoots. It wasn't a good look for them to hear that happened. And sure, there are plenty of movies that go through a set of reshoots or 2 sets of reshoots, but you pair that bad news with all of the Rachel Zegler drama. Plus, these movies do generally have larger budgets for these like live action adaptations of their classics. They went all in because they thought that an audience was going to show up. Look at how many people grew up with the Disney princesses and all these movies and love them so much. Like myself, for example, I grew up watching them. I definitely would go to see good ones if Disney deserved my money, but then they release shit like this and I'm not going to give you cash to actually go and see it. And so it sucks to suck. You're pushing away your established audience, putting out these live action adaptations, sometimes land with the kids or even just younger audiences. But I think just they pushed too many people away with the controversy. Now, that doesn't even have to do with, in my opinion, the low level of quality. Gal is not a great actress. I don't think that she did good here. Rachel Zegler, not a great actress. She's a pretty good singer. I think in this movie, she really wasn't. I think just because it didn't really go with her voice. I think that Snow White needed a more feminine sounding voice actress, and that didn't really happen here.
Rachel Zegler is a good singer, and I actually think she's
a good Broadway singer.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's a difference.
There is a
between,
difference,
like, theatrical
but that usually,
releases.
But I do think that translates pretty well to most Disney movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But she is not in my opinion, she's not a very good movie actor.
No,
she's I think she's a good theater actor. And what I mean by that is like she's overacting. Right. She's overly expressive sometimes. And those are common themes from people that are theater actors. Jonathan Majors is a good example of somebody who I believe is a good theater actor and a dog shit movie and television actor because it feels like he's overacting all the time. And that's,
I agree.
It makes sense. And there's different ways. There's this old video of, I think, Michael Caine in the 90s talking to a group of actors at a school or something. And he's talking about the difference between acting on stage and acting for movies and how much more nuanced you have to be when you have a camera right in front of your face, as opposed to when you're on a stage and you have to make sure that you're getting your emotions and like the theme of what you're supposed to be talking about and your words across to the person who's in the very, very back in the upper deck. It's a very different type of acting.
Yes,
and
it is.
So I think that Rachel Zegler has not mastered movie acting in any way, shape, or form, but I do think she's good for Broadway.
Yeah. I wonder if Hollywood is going to continue to consistently work with her. I just don't really see it. I think that with the Hunger Games not quite doing their expected numbers, and again, it wasn't some like major bomb, but with that being what is considered a failure, Snow White, which is considered a failure, on top of there's another movie that she had done, not Shazam. She was pretty minor in that. Oh yeah, Y2K, that was it. Like we're talking about flop after flop after flop.
Her first movie was that Steven Spielberg remake movie, of
West Side Story.
West Side Story. Now that also did, I think, come out right on the tail end of COVID, and they blamed it on that. And then I think the very next weekend is when Spider-Man: No Way Home came out and like broke box office records and shit. I think that the things we'll see her in are really small things, very small budget things, as like the third or fourth actor involved. I don't think she's going to headline anything. I certainly don't think she's going to get any roles in big budget stuff.
Which I think is funny that you mentioned that, because they blame this on the quote unquote global crisis.
So, what they're saying, they're comparing it to like all the other shit that was released. Yeah. And like comparing it to inflation and things like that.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have to go all the way
they're
back to
also talking about
1994's
like
The Jungle.
28. Yeah.
So what they're saying is you have to go all the way back to 1994's The Jungle Book to find a Disney live action remake that had lower takings than Snow White and wasn't released during a global crisis.
Right.
So they're comparing that to Mulan.
Well, yeah, like Mulan, and then
they're not blaming Rachel Zegler's flop on that. What they're saying is the reason Mulan made so little money is because it was
right. I understand. Yeah. But they're also talking about like, oh, how the film failed to cast a spell on audiences, with it taking an 87.3 million its opening weekend, 13% less than forecast. Yeah, and of course this fucking happened because this shit is trash. Stop remaking things if you are not going to respect the source material. I get, again, sometimes things just don't translate when we are talking about a animated to a live action. I get that sometimes there are going to be slight changes, slight differences. I can understand that, but you are changing up, like with The Little Mermaid as well, these massive elements like the prince. Oh, the prince was weird and he was creepy and he was a stalker and all these different things. Do you really think that is going to sell tickets? Of course it's not. And so you get what you fucking deserve. Shit like this pisses me off because we were right. We've been saying it. That, oh, Snow White didn't make money. The media saying, no. You guys are either being too hasty when it initially came out. Then after that, they said, well, Disney didn't call it a failure, so clearly it at least did okay in what they want. Oh my God, you guys are so fucking annoying.
So the biggest sin, I think, of this report, which is great from Forbes and Caroline Reed and shows exactly how much money Disney spent on the movie, which was upwards of $330 million. They did get a big tax credit for filming or rebate for filming in the UK. The biggest sin of this article is that the headline is Disney lost $170 million. That is inaccurate because that $170 million is only based on the movie they got at the box office, or the money that they got from the box office versus the money they spent on production. That doesn't include the marketing, which is minimum $100 million for a movie like this. So in reality,
these budgets
Disney
that
lost
constantly are
$300 million on
these budgets that are often promoted or like, oh, they lost $170 million. They're not talking about marketing as well. Very rarely is marketing added to that cost. Like almost none of the major studios do that. Like some of the indie ones will and be like, hey, this is everything we had in total because they're smaller. But in this case, they want to try to withhold as much information as possible and paint it a certain way. It would sound 10 times worse if it was they lost 300 million than 170 million. 170 million is still a lot of fucking money, but there is a difference.
Yes. And so and now all the videos and all the headlines are Disney lost 170 million, which is a bad sounding headline. Unfortunately, that's not the totality. That's not the they lost almost 300 million. Like if the marketing budget for this is within a conservative range of what it normally is for Disney's big budget, blockbuster budget type of movies like this.
Yeah. Well,
when you go to box office sites and stuff and you look at production budget, that is just the money it costs to make the movie, to hire people, to do pre-production, to film it, to edit it, to do the visual effects, all that stuff. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the marketing, the ads that they run, the PR tours and stops that they pay for the actors to go to. All of that shit is in the marketing budget, which is not revealed along with the production budget.
It is not. Yeah. It's a very interesting picture they try to paint, even though they do get called out. But again, as we say with like The Game or Kotaku with Polygon, there's a lot of normies who don't want to do any research. And so again, they want to make it seem as like not important as possible. They don't want it to be the highest number possible. They want to paint it as being the most positive situation. And 170 million is still not positive, but it's more positive than 300 million. So that's how it usually goes. China, thank you so much for the 6 months. It's the same in the WNBA. Women complain, no one goes, including them. I've only ever gone on your other mom gets in free night. Thank you for the 6 months. David Smart, thank you for the 5. Hail the panel, hail Vera, looking good, and rip to Lara Croft and Ryan, your boy Jeremy. Woke my drunk ass up with the Michael Jackson post, or Michael Jordan post. Nothing about it.
I don't even know what's going on.
I don't know, but yes, Lara Croft is a sad situation. I did talk, I think it was last week, about the sex bombshell statement that was made. I think Sophie Turner is a very beautiful woman, but she still wouldn't have been my first pick for Lara Croft. And of course, we all knew it was going to be shit when someone like Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the one writing and the Marvels writer is on it. Like, those are all major red flags. So I don't even think Sophie Turner is the worst of the worst here. I just think that the writing's going to be so poor. She's just parroting what she's told to. Robert Hayes, thank you for the $4.99. Blizzard wants to turn Warcraft into a cozy game. What? Blizzard will do anything for money, straight up. They don't give a fuck what it's going to take.
Game. What does that mean?
I don't know, but I believe it. I do not even need context to go, yep, that sounds like Blizzard, always doing dumb shit. And SCDB, thank you for the 5. Since you're so good at scaling power levels, Meek, outside of his traditional rivals, who is a true even match for Spider-Man?
Was this supposed to go to this stream?
I don't know.
Meek would be Epic Mike.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know who I'd match against Spider-Man. Ask me next week.
Hold on.
I don't think so.
Is Epic Mike streaming right now?
Probably.
He is.
You could check
This happened
faster.
to somebody the other day.
Did it?
It happened to somebody the other day where they were convinced that they sent me a super chat. And they were watching the streams like, you didn't hear my super chat. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it turned out that it had accidentally sent to EFAP. So like there was like a mix up or a crossover, which that'll be the second time this happened. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's weird.
A true
Maybe
match
it's like
Spider-Man. I don't fucking know. Villain wise.
Yeah, maybe it's just when you have like multiple different tabs open to Super Chat, but then it's like you click Super Chat on one, but you have the tab up on the other channel as well. So then maybe it just gets confused. I don't fucking know. YouTube's trash. That's life. It's unfortunate. But thank you for the 5. Hey, he didn't get the 5, so I appreciate it. And thank you for the 5 as well. Iron Lung is a good example of a movie not affected by advertising. Every dollar after production is 100% profit. I still haven't seen Iron Lung. I've heard kind of mixed things about it, but primarily positive. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it turned out to be successful. I'm glad, every dollar after production was profit. Seems like it deserves it, so it's good. But thank you for the 5. Much appreciated. Ryan, what have you got going on?
Oh, man. I don't know what I got going on. I stream on Wednesday and Sunday evenings. I make videos every day, usually, about dumb shit. I got a Harry Potter video coming out probably around midnight tonight. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with my life in general tonight, tomorrow. I don't know. But you can check me out on my channel because whatever I'm doing, I'll probably be doing it there.
Fair enough. And next week, guys, Fuck My Life will be live over on Ryan's channel. We do go back and forth between the channels. So this week is here. Next week is there. Also, SCDB, thank you for the 2. Y'all overthought it. I'm just retarded and fucked up. Well, there we go. I was going to say, do you want me to refund it? I can, but thanks for the 2. Much appreciated. And of course, guys, I am live.
I'd like to see a Black Panther Spider-Man fight. Well, I'll say that.
That'd be kind of cool.
I think that Black Panther's very strong and very quick and acrobatic and stuff. I'd like to see them go up against each other.
Wouldn't be half bad.
The comics version, not
Well, yeah,
fucking movie.
comics. We're not talking about the MCU and shit. But I did upload my Relooted review to the second channel. It is linked in the description. I live stream video games Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern. Monday nights, Fuck My Life. Wednesdays, the Vera and Virtue Show. And 2 to 3 videos a day. You're already here. Subscribe if you haven't already. But yes, next week, Fuck My Life, live over on Ryan's channel. His links are in the description, his X, his YouTube, all that fun stuff. Guys, thank you so much for your donations, for your support. I'm gonna raid D-Day Cobra. So make sure to spam the chat, retarded shit. Spam the chat with retarded shit. Per usual. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. And have a very good rest of your evening, everyone.